Hello, my people. Welcome back to Gist Step, your number one channel for hot and trending gist across the country. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, do well to hit the subscribe button for more gist and also like and share. Now, let's talk about the comment that shook timelines, rattled group chats, and had fans zooming screenshots like detectives on a mission. Sonia Uche dropped a comment and boom, the internet went into full meltdown mode. What was supposed to be just a simple line turned into what many people are now calling the most subtle but loud clapback of the week. You know, that kind of clapback that doesn't shout, doesn't insult, doesn't drag, but still lands like thunder. That was exactly the vibe. Calm words, soft delivery, but the meaning sharp, very sharp. It all started when a post went up looking innocent. Just one of those everyday social media updates that celebrities drop and move on from. But as we all know, nothing is ever just ordinary when it involves a public figure and an already curious fan base. Sonia Uche stepped into the comment section, typed a few words, pressed send, and probably went about her day. Meanwhile, fans were already screaming, "She has spoken," before the comments even finished loading for others. Almost immediately, screenshots began to circulate. Blogs picked it up, WhatsApp groups were on fire, and Twitter, sorry X, turned it into a full-blown debate. People were asking, who is she talking to? Is this for so and so? Why now? Why that wording? The comment itself wasn't long, but it was loaded. The kind of message that sounds polite, but carries years of bottled emotions, experience, and maybe even quiet annoyance. Fans who have followed Sonia for a long time were quick to say this is her style. According to them, she doesn't do messy online fights. She doesn't drag people by name. She doesn't throw tantrums on Instagram stories. When Sonia wants to talk, she talks with grace. But make no mistake, the message always hits its target. One fan said the comment was giving soft life, but firm boundaries, energy. And honestly, that description stuck. Another fan reacted by saying Sonia didn't need to explain herself because the real ones already understood the code. According to this fan, when a woman who has been minding her business suddenly decides to speak, even briefly, it's never random. It's intentional. Others felt the comment was a response to ongoing whispers, side talks, and indirect shades that have been flying around for a while. They believe Sonia finally decided to clear the air without pouring petrol on the fire. Of course, not everyone agreed. Some people felt fans were reading too much meaning into a simple comment. They argued that social media users love drama and will turn even a good morning into a scandal. One person wrote that if Sonia really wanted to clap back, she would have done it clearly, not in riddles. But those voices were quickly drowned out by others who insisted that subtlety is an art and Sonia just gave a masterclass. As the hours passed, the reactions became more dramatic. Memes started popping up with captions like when Sonia Uche finally replies, and this is how to address them without addressing them. People started comparing her approach to other celebrities who have had messy online confrontations, and many concluded that Sonia's method was cleaner, classier, and more effective. Some fans even went as far as praising her upbringing, saying it reflects in how she carries herself online. They said, "You can tell she was raised to speak with sense, not noise." One comment that got a lot of likes said, Sonia's clapback felt like a mother's warning, calm but deadly serious. Another person joked that the comment was the kind of reply that would make the recipient sit down quietly and reflect on their life choices. Then there were those who believed the clapback was not just for one person, but for everyone who has been constantly projecting narratives onto her life. According to them, Sonia has been unfairly misunderstood, judged, and boxed into stories she never consented to. That comment, they said, was her way of reclaiming her voice and reminding people that she sees everything, even when she doesn't respond immediately. As expected, the gist entered Nollywood fan circles and everyone suddenly became a body language and tone analyst. People began revisiting old interviews, captions, and posts, trying to connect dots. Some claim the comment aligns perfectly with things she has hinted at in the past. Others said it's growth speaking, that Sonia of now is not the same as Sonia of years ago, and this comment is proof of maturity. One fan reaction that stood out said the comment felt like closure. According to them, it was as if Sonia was saying, I even moved on, but let me just say this one thing and rest my case. Another fan added that the beauty of the comment is that it didn't invite further argument. It didn't ask questions. It didn't explain. It simply stated a position and walked away. Of course, the opposing camp wasn't silent. Some people accused Sonia of being passive-aggressive. They said if you have something to say it with your full chest instead of dropping breadcrumbs for blogs and fans to feast on. They felt the comment was intentionally vague to stir conversation. And judging by the chaos that followed, they believe it worked. Still, our supporters were quick to shut that down. They argued that celebrities are human beings who are allowed to express themselves however they choose. Not everyone wants to fight online. Not everyone owes the public a detailed explanation. Sometimes a sentence is enough. And if people choose to overanalyze it, that's on them. As the gist continued to spread, some fans began to share personal stories of how Sonia's comment resonated with them. They talk about being misunderstood, talked over, and judged in their own lives, and how sometimes the best response is a calm statement of truth. For these fans, the clapback wasn't even about celebrity drama anymore. It became related. One particularly emotional reaction came from a fan who said Sonia's words felt like something they wished they had the courage to say to people in their own life. They praised her confidence and self-awareness, saying it takes strength to speak softly in a world that rewards loudness. Then, as expected, content creators jumped on it. Videos were made, voice notes recorded, and everyone had a hot take. Some said this is why Sonia remains respected in the industry. Others said this is exactly why people keep poking at her, because they know when she finally responds, it will trend. Interestingly, Sonia herself didn't add any follow-up. No extra explanation, no additional post, no clarifications. That silence only added more fuel to the fire. Fans interpreted it as confidence. According to them, she said what she said, and that's it. The message had already landed, so there was no need for an encore. As the days went by, the comments slowly became one of those iconic Nollywood social media moments that people will reference in future arguments. You could already see fans saying things like pulling a Sonia Uche. He described a classic clapback. Whether intentional or not, the comments carved its place in pop culture conversations. What made the gist even juicier was how divided opinions were. You know it's a real blockbuster when nobody can agree on one narrative. Some people swore it was a direct response to specific rumors. Others believed it was just general advice being misinterpreted. And some simply enjoyed the drama without picking sides, grabbing popcorn and refreshing their timelines. At the end of the day, one thing was clear. Sonia Uche knows the power of words, and she knows when to use them. That comment, short as it was, reminded everyone that sometimes the quietest voices can cause the loudest reactions. Whether you saw it as a clapback, a statement, or just a misunderstood comment, it undeniably did what it needed to do. It got people talking. And as fans continue to debate, analyze, and argue, one thing is certain. Sonia Uche didn't need to raise her voice to be heard. She typed a few words and the whole internet listened. That, my people, is how you serve premium gist without breaking a sweat. Stay tuned, because knowing this space, this definitely won't be the last time a simple comment turns into a full-blown online earthquake. And even after the dust seemed to settle, the gist refused to die down because fans kept dragging it back to the front burner. Every new day came with fresh interpretations, fresh screenshots, and fresh energy. Some fans started saying the comments should be studied because it perfectly captured how to respond when people keep crossing boundaries without mentioning names. Others said Sonia showed that you don't need long epistles or emotional outbursts to make a point. Sometimes a calm line is more powerful than paragraphs. A few fans went as far as saying that the comments changed their perception of her completely. They said it showed emotional intelligence and self-control, qualities that are rare online these days. One reaction that caused laughs online was someone saying the comments was so controlled that even the person it was meant for would have no choice but to pretend it wasn't about them, even if it hit home hard. Of course, the streets of social media never forget. People started saving the comments, reposting it with captions like, "This is how to speak without shouting," and "soft but deadly." Others joked that Sonia probably typed it, reread it, smiled, and dropped her phone, knowing exactly what would happen next. What made it even more interesting was that while fans were busy arguing, Sonia remained unbothered, posting regular content and going on with her life like nothing happened. That alone drove her supporters wild with pride. According to them, that's the real flex, saying your piece and moving on without seeking validation. In the end, whether you loved it or hated it, one thing is undeniable. That comment reminded everyone why Sonia Uche always stays relevant. She understands timing, tone, and impact. And just like that, with a few carefully chosen words, she turned an ordinary comment section into a moment nobody will forget anytime soon.